Hello all, my name is Rahman and welcome back to my YouTube channel. And welcome to a new series called Python 3 Programming, Python 3 Basics Programming series. In this series, guys, we are going to learn all about Python, like what is Python programming, why is Python programming necessary in these days, and we are going to work with the code, like we are going to understand all of the things such as variables, tuples, lists. We are going to understand the for loops, and we'll be writing the code in this series. And this is just an introduction video for this series. And in this video, guys, I will be installing and downloading the Python and an IDE, integrated development environment, which is going to be the Visual Studio Code. So let's begin. First of all, guys, before going on, I wanted to talk about what is Python. Now, Python is a high level programming language that is easy to read and write and understand. It is used to write software applications such as using the Django and the Flask, scripts and tools for a wide range of purposes such as web development, data analysis, scientific programming, artificial intelligence, more and more. Python's syntax is designed to be initiative and expressive, which means that it can be quickly learned and used by the people with with various levels of programming experience. Additionally, Python is an open source language, meaning that its source code is freely available for anyone to use and modify it, and which has helped make it one of the most widely used programming languages in the world. Now, first of all, guys, I wanted to install the Python. Now, as I said, Python is a programming language, and for writing the code, we need to install something called as IDE, Integrated Development Environment. Now, you just have to write the code. Okay. Now, for example, I'm going to explain you with the example of a pen and a paper. Now, for writing something, you need a paper, or and you need a pen for writing something. But what should you have to write? In which language will you write? You don't know anything how to write all of this kind of stuff. Then how will you write it? You don't know English. How will you write? So like that also here we need something called as Python. So whatever web browser you have, open it. So as I open here right now, I have Brave. So open the web browser which you want to open, and then just type Python download, and this is going to open something like this page. Now, if you are familiar with Python, you know that how to use Python, etc., etc. Then this video is not for you, because this video is just for the beginners who don't know anything about Python, just a beginner. So I'm going to download the Python, right? So you have to just type Python download, and just you are going to get the first link, which is download python dash python.org. Okay, and then you are going to open something like this page. If you're not mind typing this one, then you can just type python.org, and this is going to open this page only. Okay, so here I wanted to download the Python, right? So I searched for Python download, and it opened this page. Now for downloading Python, you have to click on download Python 3.11.2. Now you can install any version of Python. Now there are a lot of versions of Python, but I recommend you to install the Python 3 versions like Python 3.1, 3.2, 3.3, 3.7, 3.10, etc. But don't download the 2, because those are the old versions, and there's a lot of difference between Python 3 and Python 2. So anyhow, guys, let's download the Python. I'm not going to download the Python 3.11.2. This is the latest version of Python right now in 2023. And the reason that I'm not going to download is I have used the latest version, but some libraries are not working in Python 3.11.2, such as MediaPipe, etc. But in Python 3.10, all of the libraries are working. So I recommend you to download the Python 3.10. So follow me, and you'll be able to download this very easily. Or if you are watching this video at any time later in the future, then download the latest version. Now let's click on the download. You're going to open this page. After that, you're going to get all of this stuff. Now looking for a specific release, Python 3 release by version number. Okay, so here the first thing that we have is Python 3.10.10, and we have another thing called Python 3.10.9. So I'm going to download the Python 3.10.10. Okay, and let's click on download. It's going to open this page. Then you have to scroll down to this page and you're going to get Windows installer. But before that, if you are in the Mac OS or Linux, you'll be getting options for that also. So anyhow, let's click on the Windows installer and it's going to open something like this page where I should download the installer. So I'm going to download that in my downloads. Now it just took me a fraction of second for downloading because my laptop is fast. Maybe you don't have it. Don't worry, it's going to take some time, but it will download anyhow. Now let's open our folder and let's go to the downloads. In the downloads, I have the installer. You have to double click on this one and it's going to open something like this page. Now here after opening this, you're getting the two options. Okay, the first one is install now, the second is customize installation. Now install now is what it's going to do is it's going to save as the default. Now whatever the things which are in Python, it's going to download some of the things, some of the things which are very useful, some of the things which some people don't use. So it's going to download by default, but customized installation controls uses the it's going to choose our options, then it's going to install. Now in the customized installation, we can add our path where we want to save the where you want to download the Python files. Okay, now I'm going to go by the customized installation obviously because I wanted to choose one of the options. But before that, I'm going to go back and if you see, yeah, we are getting two options, two text. Use admin privileges when installing py.exe. Another is add Python. So I'm going to select these two options and let's click on the customize installation. Now after opening this, you're going to get something all of these options. Now here we have the documentation, which is I don't want this one. If you want, you can download it. So documentation is something where you can learn all of the about Python, but not with the specific examples that you want. So according to me, so who are the experts who want to review the documents, who are expert in Python or who is a Python programmer, when they read the documentation, they may know that, but who are the beginners, they may need to watch the tutorials or they can also read the documentation. Anyhow, I wanted to install the pip. Pip is the very much important thing in Python when downloading some of the libraries. Any library you want to download, just type pip install, pip install. Everywhere pip is used. So I want the ideally is going to be an editor, simple editor, which is going to come with the Python test source. Install the standard library. Yes, I need also file launcher. Yes, I need all of this stuff other than the documentation. Let's click on the next. And here you are going to get some of the options such as install Python 3.10 for all of the users. Right now in my laptop, I have two users. One is me and another is other one. So now it's going to install for my user only or it can be installed for two users on my laptop. If you are having one user, you may be not getting this option. So I want to download it on the two users, install Python 3.10 for all of the users. Yeah. Now here download the debugging symbols. Yeah, I wanted to download this one. Now let's customize the installation location where we wanted to download these files. I'm going to click on this PC. Wait, what you have to do? You have to select the browse, then click on this PC, and I'm going to download this in my D drive. Now you can download this in the C drive, but you have to download that in the C drive. But my C drive is full, so I'm going to download that in the D drive itself. Now in the program files, yeah, I'm going to download that in the program files slash I'm going to create a folder called Python. Okay, and then I'm going to give 3.10 point. So what was the version? Okay, I'm going to open that. Okay, so here what was the version? So it was 3.10.10. Okay, 3.10.10, and I'm going to install that in that folder. Now I'm getting here the prompt that asking me yes or no. If you are getting this, click on yes, then it's going to download right now. So as you can see, it's taking some time. Executable, development libraries, standard library. So it's going to take some time, but till the time, we are not going to waste the time. We are going to install an IDE, which is Integrated Development Environment. So I'm going to open my browser here, new tab. Now here we have to install the Visual Studio Code, which is a code editor. So just type Visual Studio. So I think just download it. Okay. So it's in the end. Okay. So you have to just type Visual Studio code, and then this page is going to open. Now you have to click on the Visual Studio Code, the first link that you are getting, or you could just type code.visualstudiocode.com. Now I wanted to download this. Okay, so I'm going to click on the download and it's going to open something like this page. Then click on the Windows. If you are having the Windows, if you are on the Linux, then download this one. Now, if you are using the Ubuntu, then click on the Debian Ubuntu. If you are using the Mac OS, then click on this one. I'm using Windows and install it right now. So it's going to open like this page and it's going to ask me where should I download the installer. Now I'm going to save that in the what we say download itself. It's taking some time. Let's see that Python is completed or not. So it's taking some more time. Let's wait. Okay, so our installer is also installed. Let's open our folder. Now here I'm going to double click on this one and it's also going to be installed on our computer. Now, Visual Studio Code is a code editor where we can write the code, but it's not just specifically for the Python like PyCharm is there or some other IDE, some other code editors. But this is not specifically for the Python, but this is for all of the programming, most of the programming languages such as Java, JavaScript, and C++, C hash, yeah, etc. So there are a lot of programming languages, so it's useful for that also. Now you may be thinking, how do we use that for all of the programming languages? We just need for the Python. Let's see. So in the Visual Studio Code, there will be something called as extensions. If you want to use for the Python, then you have to download it and you can use it. If you want to use for the C hash or C++, you have to download it and then you can use that. I'm going to show that right now. Just double click on the installer that you have installed on your folder and this is going to open this page. So you have to accept the agreement and then click on the next, and it's going to ask you where you should download, where you wanted to download this. I wanted to download this in my D drive. Let's wait. No, on the C in the D. So in the program files, I'm going to download it. Okay, Microsoft Visual Studio Code, VS Code also it's called. Next, yeah, I want to call it as, yeah, next. And here you are going to get some of the options such as create a desktop icon. No, I don't want to create that. After that, add open port to Windows. Yeah, I want these two things. These are pretty much important. Now, basically, what happens is when you have a Python file and you wanted to open this one, you have to right click and just open it with the Visual Studio Code. It's pretty much simple. Now, let's click on the next, install, and it's going to take some time for installing. Let's wait for some time. Let's see that what is the progress of Python. Where is it downloading still? Yeah, it just completed. So it's asking me setup successful. Yeah, it was. So it's successful. My Python is installed on my laptop. If you have also installed, then you can do that. Now after opening this, just click on the close. Python is installed, and Visual Studio Code is also installed on our computer. Yeah. So let's click on finish, and both of them are closed. Now, as you can see here, Python the wait, one second. Okay, so as you can see, my Visual Studio Code has been opened. Now, before opening this one, let's check the Python that whether it is working or not, or correctly installed or not. So I'm going to just type Python. So Python 64-bit. Yeah, it's going to open something like this page, and just type print hello. Okay, and then as you can see here we are getting the hello. If you are not getting this hello or getting some other error, which means that Python is not installed properly on our computer. Okay, so print hello. Now Python is installed successfully on my laptop. Now let's check for the Visual Studio Code. So it's also installed successfully. Now what I have to do is I have to install some of the extensions. Okay, let's go in the extensions, and I have some of the extensions already installed. Now the reason that I am getting already installed is that sometime before I uninstalled this Visual Studio Code, and I am reinstalling this right now to show that how to install it in this video. So at the time I forgot to install this. So how do I install them is just go in the extension tab, click here, type Python. You're going to open. You're going to get like this. click on, you're going to get something like install, not uninstall, install, then it's going to install the Python, etc. Okay, just you need to install the Python, and with the Python, you're going to install the pylons also. Now we have to search for the REPL. Okay, REPL. So REPL for Python. This is a very much useful tool in Python, because when you are writing code, after writing code, you need to run that, right? But each and every time running and you are getting some errors, it's waste of time. What you can do is you can open the side panel if you have the REPL, and then whenever you are writing the code, it's going to print the output on this side, that how the output looks. Okay, so REPL is very much useful. Now let's close it. Now we have another something called as Codium, AI coding autocomplete. So Codium is an AI autocomplete for Python, JavaScript, TypeScript, Java, etc. Now what does this do is it's going to predict that what you are going to write, and then it's going to automatically paste that. So this is a online code editor, and you can use it as the in the Visual Studio Code. Now, after all of these things are installed, now Visual Studio Code is going to look something like this. Now, let's see how to use it, right? Now, for using that, the Python is pretty much useful. If it is not, then you're going to get a lot of errors. Okay. Now, if you want to use this C hash, then you have this type C. You're going to get something like this. Install it. You can use it. It's pretty much simple. So, I'm not going to install it right now. Now, let's double click here. Double click, and a new page is going to open. A new file is going to open, and I'm going to type the print hello. Okay, wait, am I getting anything? Am I getting any run option? No. And the reason is that this file is called as the text file, so you have to convert it into the Python file. How do we do that? Just press Ctrl S on our keyboard, and then you have to save wherever you want to save. Okay, and I'm going to give the name as untitled, or I'm going to give as test. Okay, test. Now save the type as, so this is the plain text. This can be opened in the notepad also. I don't want to do that, so I want the Python file. Just type P, and you're going to get the Python, then save it. It's pretty simple. From the time, what was happening, that when I sorry wait when it was getting in the white color code, right? But right now it's coming in the colors, because I have converted it in the py file. Now for using the Python file, what you have to do is you have to just type the name whatever you want to use, and then just type .py in the end, and then this Python file, and then you can run that Python file. So I'm going to run here. So there is something called as this one. I'm going to run it. So no parent is selected. Please select the interpreter. Okay. So here we are getting an error, and the error is we have to select the interpreter that we have installed on our computer. So I have the 3.1 point. So you have to select it. If I run it now, I'm not going to get any errors, and the program is going to run successfully. As you can see, hello I'm getting, or I can give hello world. Save it, run it, hello world I'm getting. Now, what is the use of this Python program, right? So what this Python program does is, if you want to print something in the terminal, if you want to see something in the terminal, then you can type print hello world, and it's going to run. If I run it, it's going to paste that in the terminal. Now, if I just type hello world, save it, run it, I'm going to get the errors. As you can see here, hello world, invalid syntax. And as you can see here also, that this name is getting in the red color, test.py, right? And these are getting underlined in the red and yellow color. If I remove this, then it's coming in the white. Okay, so that's what the difference. Now, if you want to print something, you can print that, you can get the variables. So we will be talking about this stuff in the next video. So anyhow guys, that's all for this video, and I hope you liked this video and enjoyed watching this video. And don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and don't forget to share my videos with others, and I will see you all in another tutorial. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.